Geez, you're gonna have to excuse my face. uh, look, um, every time I talk about this stuff, I get really upset. Really upset because reasons. But he's talking about the HGA. Look, I got an ice pack under my hat. He's talking about contacting the HGA. And in Angels and Archangels, he talks about how Crowley says that one of the ways you can do it is by like invoking a deity of love, and then you just work yourself up into like a frenzy of longing. And like just talking about this, I can feel it in my core. I already have a video on YouTube where I was like, I woke up, motherfucker. I've experienced Eden. I've experienced energy cleansing to the point of ecstasy. But like, my initial awakening was like 14 fucking years ago. And I'm fucking telling you that for me, it was crazy. I wasn't practicing high magic, which is really funny because these guys, like this historically, like high magic has it is a path towards enlightenment, because I can look back on my own enlightenment. Mine was a spontaneous awakening. I woke up out of schizophrenic psychosis, but I think it's really interesting that some of my experiences, the things that I have experienced as a result of that, you can find them in the magic, in high magic. And one of them is contacting your HGA. Like for me, what had happened, I went mute, right? So like one of the things you're supposed to do is like recede from the world. And I did. Like I went fully mute, and like it's a crazy story, but I didn't speak to anybody for any reason for like 4 months. And I wasn't even interacting in my environment. Like I literally sat on the edge of the couch. Like this shit's fucked up. Like I woke up out of schizophrenic psychosis. Like I was enduring psychological trauma like you couldn't fucking imagine. Like I used to wake up screaming because waking life was so hard after enlightenment. Like it's serious business. And I wish I was practicing high magic because it would have been a smooth go. You know, but for me, it was just like, bam, bam, bam. It was fucking intense. It was fucked up. But anyway, one of the things that I experienced back then was because I went into my mind. I have stories for fucking days. Like, you want to talk about unusual, what's possible, the astral realm, consciousness, astral bodies, encountering secret chiefs, encountering the astral consciousness of living people, and then meeting those people. Yeah. But anyway, so one of the things that had happened, you know, because I'm like living in my mind, right? I'm mute, not interacting in the world around me. I'm living in my mind. And one of the things that I ended up experiencing was I like cast out like a fishing line, like cast out a line, trying to encounter someone's consciousness in the astral like that, right? I was like, this is possible. I know it's possible. It has to fucking be possible. There's no way it's not fucking possible. And I tried. And when I did that, I cast out my own consciousness looking for something, for someone or something, mainly someone. But what had happened was I became like, through meditation, you can become aware of awareness. And like, if you've experienced it, it's like, it's not like, oh yes, I am aware that there is a TV. I am aware that there are things around me. I am aware of myself in this chair. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like pure awareness, where you like feel that you are aware of something. You can feel it. Is a feeling, something you feel with your mind, with your consciousness, with your mind. And I got to a point where I could feel that awareness and just like sat with it for a long time, a really long time, until I got to, and I'm still like questing to encounter another consciousness inside the collective, inside the string, astral consciousness, whatever. And I got to a point where I became aware of something that was aware of me back. Like I could feel that back and forth awareness. It was a little different for me because I was hearing It was weird for me. And I also think it's weird that they say knowledge and conversation. So I acquired the knowledge of being aware of something aware of me back. And then the conversation that I had for weeks, it was like weeks of me being like, who are you? And it would be like back and forth. It would just say you. And it would just repeat you back to me. And I was like, but what's your name? Like, who are you? What is your name? And I could feel that flow. Because, like, in your mind, when you're thinking, it's just like a stream like that, you know? You're just you just think. But, like, this was like a conversation. This was a back and forth flow. And I could feel it. Like, the thought pattern isn't what's important. What's important was feeling that back and forth flow, that knowledge and awareness, back and forth flow of who are you? You would come back at me. And it was just back and forth like a river flowing in my mind. And I remained in contact, like I remained in conversation like that for a while, probably almost a month. And then eventually at some point, like I was in conversation, back and forth flow, not unending awareness. Like my entire focus was on this awareness of this thing, this person, this thing, whatever it was. I thought it was a person at the time, you know, because I didn't have an education in the occult or none of that. So it was like, who are you? You was what was being told back to me, you know. And after like a month of that knowledge and conversation, exactly like that, I started to feel love, like love, which was really fucking crazy because my life was completely fucking just madness, unending madness at the time. And like feeling that love took all the chaos away, everything. Like it made life okay again. So I like existed in that love for a while, weeks, until it got to a point where I started to feel desire, like here, like especially here. I was feeling desire, like you couldn't fucking believe, like burning fucking desire. I wanted to meet this person, like so bad. Like I was ready to completely give up all normal relationships in life. Like normal relationships with real people that exist right next to me. I was ready to just stay mute and just never speak to another person. Like I wanted this relationship, this awareness and this love and this back and forth communication. I was prepared to live like that for the rest of my life. Like it was better than anything I've ever experienced, right? And I'm just like, I don't know. They talk about merging with the HGA. Like, mind you, I wasn't practicing high magic. I didn't have any spiritual teachers or none of that shit. I was just doing this shit just like organically, like through instinct and intuition. I don't know what that merging is. Maybe that merging is when you feel love, when you finally get to a point that you feel love coming from that awareness and that communication, that back and forth flow. That's what I think. Like when you do merge with whatever it is, you want to call it whatever you would want. People want to philosophize about how it's the demiurge, it's the God of the Old Testament. But it's not. Like in my experience, it wasn't any of those things. It was just simply my consciousness, my conscious aware mind being aware that something was aware of me too. That's it. Like it doesn't need to be some grand thing. These are things you can do with your mind. This is stuff you can do in consciousness. I think that all that God nonsense is ridiculous. But I do believe in the collective consciousness. What I believe in the astral realm and the collective consciousness. But anyway, I wanted to share that whole HGA thing because like it's continuously blows my mind. Like not really, like I'm just like, wow. Like these are things you can do in consciousness. You can do these things without a spiritual practice because I didn't have one. I just simply went into my mind and was seeking what was possible. Anyway, bye.